So welcome to Foundry Podcast. This is the second episode and we're good to go.
Yeah, I'm Dean. I'm an owner of Champs Camps Boxing Gym in Sheldon. And
Hi guys, I'm Monique. I'm a life caster that trains at Foundry.
My name is Moses and I'm a powerlifter, two-time British bench press champion, and I train here at Foundry as well.
My name's Charlotte and I'm a boxing coach, personal trainer, and I also work at Foundry as well.
Should we take it? Should we talk history?
So, why do you train at Foundry? Why Foundry?
I think basically for me, it's training in a boxing environment 24/7 in my own place. I come away from that to train on my own. The environment here is good. I get to see people that I wouldn't really see at my gym. And yeah, I like the atmosphere. The atmosphere is good.
Yeah, it is a vibe here, isn't it? I think for me, I've trained in a lot of commercial gyms. I think as a girl, it's very easy to just stick commercial. So then when I came here with my brother first, heard about it, started kind of pushing the weights a little bit, and I was like, let's try this with somebody else. And then I came here and I was like, I think there was a Don Bryan mix on or Day Day, and I was like, you know what, the music, it's loud, like it's a vibe, and then I haven't looked back since.
Yeah, I think Shane's got a good thing going on here in this gym. I think it's good for the community. I think it's good to bring the younger generation in the gym, keep them off the streets. I think it's a good thing, to be fair. Why are you here, Charlotte? Why are you at Foundry?
So, do you know what? I literally live like up the road. So for me, it was convenience at first. Technically, I brought Dean to the gym because he wouldn't have come if I...
Technically. Say you would have been at home, mate.
She makes it work.
Dean would still be in Champs Camp. No, joking. But for me, it works perfectly because I was training clients in my back garden, in my garage, which space was limited. I was doing pad work and stuff like that. So then when I realised that there was a gym here that I could come, train my clients here, and there was a boxing ring, and like everyone said, good atmosphere.
Me training with you blew you, didn't it?
No, it really didn't. Dean makes me look shit on the pads.
Too early, guys.
No, but I could come here and I could train my clients here, and there was a ring. So obviously, like for me, it kind of just made sense to sort of be here and train here.
So I want to know, like, what got you guys into fitness and just the whole gym?
Yeah, because I think for me and Charlotte, we've been friends now. How many years have we been friends? Like 2-3 years?
Yeah.
So we met through a mutual friend, but then realised that actually we both really like fitness and it's bonded us closer. So I have been training. I was brought up doing Thai boxing twice a week at G&A. Anyone remember G&A?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, you remember my dad.
Old school, that
Tight Shane. So yeah, I was Thai boxing twice a week there. With Spencer Harris, rest his soul. And then I was doing Dad's Boxercise twice a week. So yeah,
And used to break me.
seriously, but from 7-8 years old, I was doing tough sessions. And I think growing up then, you know, I grew up, became a girl, got into boys, my body changed, and I lost my interest. And then once I had my gal, my oldest son, nearly 10 years ago, I just, as a woman, it's a woman thing. You fall out of love with your body and how you look. And I thought, okay, I need to do something. The best thing that happened to me was lockdown. Since lockdown, me and Trey, my brother, went into my dad's shed and I fell in love with squatting, hit my personal best, fell in love with actually strength training. Because I think as a girl, there's that whole stigma that if you strength train, you're going to become very manly. And actually, I lost so much weight through strength training. Then ended up here. So that's my little journey.
I think for me, I've always been into cardio. I love coaching, so being able to train whenever I want, all the time, I think it's good. I think it's great for mental health as well. I think this is my outer zone. So.
But your cardio's not not typical cardio, but again, educating. It's like some people would just think cardio is just a treadmill.
Yeah, my cardio is intense. You know yourself.
I did a cardio session with him yesterday. I'm still
Debatable.
recovering.
Debatable.
Say that again.
Debatable.
No.
Charlotte's probably thinking about something
I
else.
know, yeah. Now, I think for me, cardio is the one. I think you can weight train all the time, but you still need to get your cardio in. What about you, Mo? What do you do?
So I got into gym when I was in year 7. So like, I've always been strong. think I came out my mum strong, but so yeah. So year 7, I got into gym on the 6 weeks holidays. I was figuring 12, 13 years old, I could bench like 100 kg. I think there's like most grown men can't even do that these days. But yeah, I got into gym like that. Eventually got into powerlifting, became British champion, got some regional records, became British champion again. So yeah, that's my journey. I just trained to be
2 times champ, yeah.
2-time champion. But
Honoured Mo. Sat next to 2 times champ. Claim
But
there.
I trained to be like strong. Like when I was younger, like I had always had this thing where like I'd want to be so strong that if I was like in the middle of town, I always say this to my friend, rest in peace, Anton. But we'd always like think, okay, cool, we're in the middle of town and like it's almost like a zombie apocalypse happens, and then all of a sudden everyone turns on you. You want to be strong enough to like literally fight them off and survive. Like it's mad, like the thought process, but yeah.
I think we're safe from zombies, guys. I think we're safe.
You never know, man.
Mo's got us. Yeah, but you've got us now.
Yeah, I put on weight now, so I might not be as fast as
Sure.
For me, my fitness started when I was probably about 11, when I sort of went to secondary school. I got bullied by guys. Never by girls, it was always by guys. And
I
then
think Dean should sort them out, innit?
Dean is the bully.
I still bully
He's the
you.
one that bullies me the most. But no, I got bullied by guys. So then I ended up joining the boxing gym that my stepdad's friend owned. Trained there for like probably about 4 to 6 months. And then they were like, you're really good. Do you want to compete? And I was like, yeah, do you know what? I love it. So my whole fitness background was boxing from the age of like 11 up until the age of about 16, 17. Then I had a break, but I always trained, but I didn't compete anymore. And then sort of once I had my kids then I kind of got into like weight training. And then the boxing's been in and out. I've always boxed, but it's kind of been like phases more than sort of consistent. And then now I'm kind of at like a consistent period where I'm coaching with the boxing. I'm training, never know, I might make an appearance in the ring again one day if I can cut a bit of weight.
Did you win any fights and stuff when you was in the ring?
Yeah. So I had like 11 fights and I won about 8, I
None.
think. no, I won about 8. I box like amateur, so not all this white collar, hoo-ha that Dean does.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
Shots fired. No, so for me, like, boxing was like the most important thing growing up for me. It kept me out of trouble. It kept me out of like being on the streets, smoking, drinking, getting in with the wrong crowd. I used to work and then I'd go straight from I used to work in a fish and chip shop and I'd go straight from like the fish and chip shop to the boxing gym. And like, I know you'll laugh, but at the age of 13, I was a baller. Like I was earning like 50 quid a week and
Like going from a chip shop straight to the gym.
yeah.
I take the
Next
other way
question
around now. I'm
is
driving home and going to the chip
definitely
shop.
gonna be about the gymmix.
No,
Gotta be about the gymmix.
I'm serious. Like for me, like as a teenager, like I was like, my head was always just like
Pablo Escobar.
No, I was on it. I was like work, gym, and I suppose that's kind of my life now. It's work and gym, and that's about it. It's kind of been ingrained in me from a young age, really.
Don't you think it's weird though? You just said what I said. So we trained when we were younger, and then we both had children, and then went like that's what spurred us again.
Yeah.
Like, do you think that's a thing, like a woman's thing, or because I know there's women like I work with mums, don't I? Like new mums and
Yeah.
stuff, and they probably couldn't think of anything worse than going to
I
the
think
gym.
this day and age, with social media, I think a lot of females are more interested in the gym now because of how they're looking. If you're scrolling through social media, you see a lot of females in the gym now, and I think a lot of them kind of get the bug and want to have that sort of figure or just have that sort of taste for it. And yeah,
I think it's the health factor as well. I think with COVID as well, like the whole thing with COVID, I don't want to say anything that's too like political, but I think the whole thing with COVID is like, if you was like unhealthy or had any underlying health issues, like you was at risk. And I think a lot of people want to go to the gym to be healthy. So if another pandemic happened, like they're not at risk because obviously they're healthy. and it kind of ticks one box, if that makes
But I think
sense.
mental health as well, because
Yeah,
I know in
yeah,
lockdown,
yeah.
in lockdown when it first happened, I was scared. Like I won't see none of my family. I just moved into a new house. So I was on my own with my 2 kids, and if it wasn't for Courtney Black's live videos and Sierra London, like I don't know how I would have got through the day. Like I would have gone into a depression because I'm locked in my house. I got 2 kids, one of them young. Like that used to keep me sane. Those endorphins would get me through. And I think now, even now when I come to the gym, you know, we're not in lockdown, but life is stressful. Like my work especially, like I have so much heavy weight on me.
What
and
is
I
it
think
that you actually do?
Because I ain't got a clue what this is. Explain.
So I work with families to make sculptures of people's hands and feet, working with end-of-life cases or people that have passed away. So I'll go into the mortuary. Let's just say May, for example, I did 19 memorials. Every single one of them was a suicide. So it's you take on the trauma of that. So for me, I have to look after my mental health. Do you know what I mean? Like it can get deep. And don't get me wrong, I'll share, I'm crying in the car, but I also need to release it. And doing the gym, that's what keeps me going. And I think as mums, you know, whether it's that they're not sleeping or like babies are hard work, they're lovely, but they're really hard work. So I think even just getting out, getting on a walk, doing something active, it's and if it changes their body, then great. But also like they just want that endorphin rush and that little bit of I'm doing something for me to look after me.
I think with like the whole mental health thing, I think we can all touch on the fact that like mental health is a really big part of like all of our lives. Like I also work in a school, and I do mentoring in a school. So I work with teenagers from the age of 11 up to 16. And mental health is a real serious issue in schools, especially with girls. The boys don't talk about it as much, but the girls are a lot more open. And I take a couple of the girls down to Dean's gym to try get them out, try get them doing stuff. But for me, the gym is massively for like my mental health as well.
I think as a power lifter, like we have to embrace being crazy, because when you've got like 300 kg on your back, like you have to
Say that again. What was that? 30 kg or was it 300 kg?
300 kg on your back upwards, like you have to be a psychopath. So you have to like become that crazy person, because if not, you're not going to get through it.
I get the whole beast thing
like,
now. I'm not
like you have to like literally before you've got a big lift, like you have to be like literally you're a psychopath for that 10-15 seconds while you've got that big lift going on, because if not, like the weight's going to crush you. So like it's mad, because as most powerlifters are crazy and they probably throw away their mental health out the window because they need to embrace it to some degree, which it's almost like the opposite to what you guys are saying, but it's not as well. But
yeah, but if you took training out your life, how would you feel? Do you think you'd still be able to be?
I think what you've just said, in the sense of like you're turning crazy, like you've got a massive pump, I think that releases a lot of stress.
Yeah, I agree, 100%, man. 100%. But if I didn't train, I don't think I could, like I've always trained. Like,
You know,
I can't see life without training, if that makes sense. Like, I've always trained, even if I didn't train for competitions and stuff like that, I'd still be in the gym just for like health reasons and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, me personally, I can't see life without training. And if someone was to take it away, even with lockdown, they kind of try to take it away and take the gyms away, then I literally just bought shitloads of equipment. And
the prices were high in lockdown. Everybody was trying to get
I had a hookup, man.
Of course you did.
Connections.
Of course you did.
I've got connections.
We got my bro at Extreme Fitness. You get me? Like, we had the hookup, you know. So we got the equipment for like dead cheap. But it's like they almost try to take that away from us in a sense. And then obviously that could have turned a lot of people. It probably did turn a lot of people crazy, if you know what I mean. Because the one outlet that you've got to like help with your mental health, which is like gym, that's one of many outlets, but it's a big outlet. They've took that away, and then what have you got? So that's why a lot of home gyms were getting made and stuff like that. So like I heavily invested in that, because mate, if I didn't have that, I'd be running riot.
It's like lockdown for me. I lost my gym through it. I had a gym for like nearly 5 years, and we were doing so well, and everybody loved it. And then as soon as lockdown came, we had to shut down. I never reopened after that. So it kind of messed not just mine, and I felt bad for other people, because a lot of the members, they were messaging me all the time, like, oh, when's the gym opening? And I'm like, I can't tell you that. And it broke a lot of people. Like, I used to have phone calls off friends that I thought were like mentally strong, and it came out that they wasn't. And a lot of the time, they came to the gym to release the stress and to get away from that. And then I think it took like 2 or 3 years. I eventually opened one that lasted for 6 months, and I outgrew it. Got this one in Sheldon, and it's literally been thriving ever since. But it's not just for people with mental health. Like, I'm trying to get more kids off the streets. Where it's based in Sheldon, obviously there's a lot of crime in the local areas around here as well. I just want to keep them off the streets. I've got kids in the gym. I've got so much potential, and when they're in the gym, they're all 110% training. They leave the gym, and that's when I kind of get worried myself, because I'm thinking, I know what you're going to end up doing if you're staying on the streets. I've got one young lad, and I need to name him. His name's Rio. He came into the gym. His mum brings him from Castlevale all the way up to Sheldon, and he's so talented. And the kid's gone from like not being the best boxer to now being super fit, to the point where now, like, I'm thinking, what is next for you? Do you know what I mean? And I just want to keep kids like him off the streets, and the more they come into the gym, the more I will give back to them.
See, I love that, because I wish that when me and my friends were growing up, like, we had stuff like that. Like, I wish that we did, because a lot of, like, we were like the lucky ones. Some of my friends, like, people that know who I am or whatnot, we, like, everyone knew that we were like about that certain kind of life. So we wish that we had stuff like that. Like, I like commend you for doing stuff like that, because that gives the youth opportunity, if you know what I mean. And that's wicked, man. Like, I like not envy the youth for this day and age, but they've got it good, because they've got people like you out there, people like you that's willing to like help them, and that's like a good thing, man. And they should embrace that, if you know what I mean. So, because I wish I had that, you get me? Like, because a lot of my friends wish they had that. People that I knew and grew up with, like, they've like died because of like this road thing, or they're even in prison. Like, I've got like a friend that's in prison. He doesn't even know if he's gonna come out or not, if you know what I mean. And I know for a fact, if he had something like this, like what you're doing, he'd get involved in it, and he probably
could have
would
changed
not be
the
in that
direction that he went in,
if you know what I mean. So, like, I commend you for that. You get me? So that's a good thing, man.
I think it's lack of role models, isn't it? It's like Foundry's the same. Me and Charlotte trained. Was it yesterday? No, not yesterday. Day before, about 4 o'clock, and there was lots of kids in the gym, like younger, 14, 15-year-olds, and it's easy to get, I think, frustrated that the gym is full of kids. But equally, as a mum, where else do you want them to be? You want them to kind of follow rules. You're not here to mess about, you're here to train. But you can see them, you can look around. And I was doing hack squat the other day, and there was a group of 4 kids on this machine, and they didn't have a clue what to do. So, like, I showed them. Even as a woman, they're looking up to me, and I think it is just about them. They're in the gym, especially men. Some of them might not have males at home, so they're seeing these big, strong people in the gym, and they want to aspire to be like the beast. No, I'll give it you as well, Dean. You're all right, but they want to aspire to be you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's important.
But for me, I also think, like, I know I keep bringing it back to boxing, but that's because that's my background. But like how you said about not having that as a child, we're similar ages, aren't we?
42.
Oh, yeah.
You're 42, Mo?
No,
Not 42,
Not
bro.
42.
how old are you?
34.
Oh, I'm
I was gonna
I'm
say.
29. There's a bit of a gap.
So it's
There's a bit of a gap. But
kind of generation, isn't it?
But for me, it's like, I think the whole boxing thing, it's a community, it's a family. So, like, my boxing gym, when I grew up, it was a family. We were all, like, I moved in with my boxing coach, who was a female, once I got to, like, 16, 17. And she was, like, a life mentor to me, really, growing up. And then I come down to Dean's gym, taken over head coach down there.
You wish.
I am, but it's a family down there. It's like, and like I said, the girls that I take from the school, it's great to have them down there, because they see how adults are supposed to be, if that makes sense. Like, a lot of them, they don't have positive role models in their lives, and then they come down to the gym and they can see the banter between us all, and they can see that, like, there's healthy relationships between people. And as a girl, to go into a male environment and still to be able to sort of thrive in an environment like that. It's really important for these girls to see. And I think that's one of the things that we kind of encourage down at the gym, is for the younger sort of teenagers to come to the adults class, because it brings them on so much more than being in the kids class, because they can see they've got more role models there. So we kind of encourage them to come to the adults class, and even though some of them will struggle with certain things, we push them like they're adults as well, to sort of bring them on a little bit.
I was going to ask both of you, man, like, how do you guys juggle going to the gym, being a mom,
We don't.
working?
Wing it.
Like, for me, like, as a man, I kind of get that freedom a little bit, if you know what I mean, because I don't have to be with my kids 24/7. So I just want to know, how do you guys cope with that?
Do you know what? It's hard because I'm a single mum of two. I wasn't born in Birmingham. I was born over in Yorkshire. So I don't have family over here. So I am really on my own. Obviously, I've got a good friendship group, but Monique's got kids. All of our friends have got kids. So it's kind of like you can't really rely on them people, because they've got their own lives as well. And I work about 3 different jobs. I've got the kids, I've got school, I've got like the gym, and somehow you manage to fit it in. Don't get me wrong, it's hard. It's really hard.
I think we need to. Sometimes I get messages, so I do a lot, and I think this year I've realised that I do a lot. From the time I get up in the morning, I don't sit down until 9 o'clock. I need to get the kids to school. I'm working. Sometimes I'm driving up to Shrewsbury, across the, to different funeral homes. But I always make time, and I think some people say, how do you do it, how do you do it? And I just think if you want something enough, organisation is key. Like, you find a way to do it. I think as soon as you start to think, how am I going to do this? It's a negative thought, and you're telling yourself that, you know what, it's going to be hard to do this.
Yeah.
How about you just get on and do it? You put on your big girl pants and you do it. You have to utilise your time, right? I don't. Some people might enjoy sitting and having a cup of tea and watching Netflix in the middle of the day. I'd rather be working on me. Yeah. So luckily, I manage my own diary. I think it's important. Like, I do want to go out and make money, but equally, I want to be happy too, and the gym makes me happy. So I've got good support around me. The boys do football, and they'll go off and have fun with their dad and stuff. And the first thing I think is I can get to the gym. So it's just doing what you can when you can.
I think it's a mentality thing. Like today, I've worked at Foundry today, and then I've gone and done a youth club where I've taught boxing at a youth club. Then I drive my kids halfway to Leeds. And I know, obviously, Dean's son, he lives over in Sheffield. So we do that journey a lot, where we're up and down the motorway. And then I've come back into Birmingham at about 8:30, and then here for this. But it's kind of like, the mentality is kind of, if you want shit done,
it's a lifestyle as well, isn't it?
I think the good thing about all of this is this gym's open 24/7.
Yeah.
So it's like, a lot of gyms close at 9, 10 o'clock of the night, don't open till 6, 7 in the morning. This gym is open 24/7, so I can be on a night shift, finish early. Just don't tell my gaffer. And I'll come here.
A gaffer?
Okay. And then I'll come here and do my cardio. Do you know what I mean? And it's quiet. There's still quite a few people in here. Yeah. It's never really empty. There's always someone in here. Just do your thing. Yeah. You haven't got to worry about, I'm going to have to go home and have a couple of hours sleep, and then I'll try and get to the gym. And then you're feeling rubbish when you wake up then. But yeah, I think that's what's good about this place.
Yeah. I agree, man. It's like, you go to different gyms and you're like, you have to rush your workout, like you said, if I finish work at 8:30, and then some gyms might close at 9, 10 o'clock, and then you get there and you're like, okay, I've only got half an hour. I ain't going to get everything that I want to do. I think another good thing about this gym being open 24/7, like, especially for the youths as well, like, you might be having like issues at home, with, not just the youths, it could be anyone. You could be having issues at home, like you might have an argument with a partner or your mom, your dad or whatnot. And obviously, like, instead of like having, like, going out and about and then letting out your anger at whoever, you can come into the gym at any time of the day, anytime, and then just let it all out in the gym, if you know what I mean. I think it's a good outlet, and I think I keep saying this, I think speed is built like a good thing with this gym, especially in this area. Like, I grew up in Annan Rock, but I was always in Chelmslywood, and I know how this area can get a little bit bad, if you know what I mean. Like, and I think this gym being slap bang in the middle, I think it's good for the youths, I think.
Yeah,
if that
we've
makes sense.
needed it. And I don't know about you guys, but no matter what time I come into the gym, there's always someone that like we know.
Yeah.
So whereas like with it being Mo, like Mo's helping me like loads with my content, and you know he never ever makes a deal that it's hard work sort of helping me with stuff. And I know I'm extremely difficult when it comes to getting content. I'm a proper whinger, aren't I? Because the other thing I think with the gym as well. I think the other thing with the gym as well, as much as we all say it helps our mental health, sometimes it almost doesn't help. Like sometimes we're so hard on ourselves if we have a bad session.
Me and you do that a lot. Like me and
Yeah.
Charlotte lately, we're training together and we're just like,
What's wrong with
huffing,
us?
Like, what's wrong with us? We're looking at our watches, calories are not burning,
Yeah.
and we're getting demotivated, and we really have to say to it, come on, let's do this. Like,
Yeah, and I think as women, we're like, oh, we're bloated. I feel like this, I feel like that. Like, we're really, really
Men
bad.
are not allowed to get bloated.
no, but you like,
No,
it's a
but
woman
men-
thing. Like,
men
you're
aren't
walking around,
bothered.
and we have wounds.
No, we are
and-
bothered, you know.
Men are bothered. Trust
Not
me.
like women are.
No, we're bothered, you know. Like literally, it's just like we kind
No,
of
but
just
we
don't
do
show
it-
it, but
You
we
come
are
to the
bothered.
gym to try and make yourself feel good,
Yeah.
but you're walking around feeling like crap because your gut's hanging out.
Yeah.
And I think it's hard as a girl. Like, I personally don't come to the gym to look good, to impress. And I think there's different types of women. Let's not throw shade, but there's different types of women. Some
Here we
people.
go.
No, we're not doing
Here we
that.
go
no.
again.
But sometimes women might come to the gym because they want someone to talk to them and tell them how nice they look, and boost them up that way. I come to the gym, and I'd like to think now that I'm a respected girl in the gym, that men here take me seriously,
Do you
because
feel comfortable?
now I
coming to the
do.
gym?
When I first came here, I still had my membership at the gym, and I was doing day passes, and I would only train with Charlotte or my brother. Now I walk in and you think I fucking own the gym, because I'm just like
she
doing my
does.
thing, because I think it takes a while as a woman. Like the gym is predominantly men, and you want to earn that respect from that
I think
men.
it's how you carry yourself though, as
Yeah.
a person. I think if you carry yourself in a certain way, you're gonna demand respect, if you know what I mean, without demanding it, if you know what I mean. But then if you carry yourself in a certain way, you're gonna get attention, but you're probably gonna get wrong attention. And then obviously, it's just, for me, it's just how you carry yourself as a person.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I do. But then I'm all for when you feel like you look good, you feel better.
Definitely.
There's been times where I've come in the gym and I've got no tan on, no makeup on, my hair's straight back, and I've had the worst session. Then there's been times where, you know, I bought a new outfit and I feel good, and I come in the gym and I have a much better session. So I'm all for coming in the gym, feeling good,
yeah.
you know, and sort of like, for me, I don't know, like it's kind of like, I think with the whole boxing thing as well, there's like a stigma that like, as females doing boxing, you've got to look a certain way.
Yeah, I hate that.
And
I
you
hate
really
that.
don't have to look a certain way. Like, you can still, you know,
be girly,
be
be
feminine,
feminine.
yeah, and also do the whole boxing thing as well.
I feel like that's fitness anyway. Like, I feel like as a girl, there is that stigma of if you train, you're going to become manly again.
Yeah.
I think that
Yeah.
stigma's made by other girls though. I think men don't have that.
Not
like,
educated men.
Yeah. But I think it's mainly females that come up with that. I think that, in my experience, I've
Yeah.
always heard females be like, "Oh yeah, if you train the squat, bench, and deadlift, you're gonna look like a man." But that's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah,
that's
I get
like-
that. I get that when I train females. I'm like, I don't really want to do boxing. I'm like, why? Oh, because I'm going to get big arms. I'm going to start looking like a man. And I'm like, are you mad?
Yeah.
Like, it takes a lot more than that to look that
Like,
way.
it's hard for women to put on muscle, like really, really
Yeah,
hard. But I
yeah.
think for me, like when I just trained boxing and I didn't train no weights, I had like no shape whatsoever, and I was really skinny. And like for me, like me doing weights has made me look womanly
Yeah.
rather than
Yeah.
manly. Like I wouldn't say I look manly.
No, he definitely don't.
But what I'm saying is that like for me, like I knew
I'm not
I was
saying a
waiting, I
word.
was waiting,
that's
I was waiting.
that's why I paused and looked at you, because I knew that there'd be some kind of dig over there.
To start throwing it.
But for me, it's like since training weights, my body, I much prefer my body now, and I feel a lot more like a woman than what I do kind of like manly.
Do you feel like, as a female coach, especially in a weight gym, do you feel like women come up to you more, or do you feel like they feel intimidated?
This is a really good question. I wouldn't say they feel intimidated, but I feel like women go more towards a male coach. That's just my opinion. But I don't put myself out because I'm so busy with work and everything at the minute. I don't advertise my PTs that much. I don't advertise.
She's slacking, man.
I am slacking. And do you know what it is?
Listen, I tell her all the time.
He does.
Promote.
You all do.
She's slacking, man.
All three of you do.
Slacking.
But for me, it's more of like, I never want to feel like I force myself upon people, and people like, say like my friends, I don't want my friends to feel like they have to come to me because I do pads and I do PTs. I want people to go, I think it's good to go to loads of people and find the right person for you, because there are different people for different people.
Have you ever heard that saying, a closed mouth doesn't get fed?
That is also true. So when my kids are eating beans on toast, they can blame them.
No,
all.
Charlotte's kids, they eat better than me. They eat salmon and steak.
So,
Yeah, they
Most
eat
nights.
Monique,
calamari.
what do you want to do in the future, like fitness-wise? Where do you see yourself in like the next?
Do you know what? It's hard
5 years?
because I don't work in fitness. And I think if I wasn't doing what I was doing, naturally I would probably lend myself to fitness. And me and my brother always said, like, I wish my dad would have opened his own gym and had a gym in the family. So I personally, work-wise, want to continue with my business. I want to make it a nationwide thing so that every family is given the opportunity to make their memories. But fitness-wise, I feel like now I've never been more in love with fitness. I feel like...
Now she trains with me.
Yeah, I don't. You know what? I don't want to do too much. I don't. For me, I believe genetics are a big thing, and my
Definitely.
genetics on my
Strong.
mum's and my dad's side are both big.
Yeah.
Like I'm a foodie too. Like kebab meat and chips I had today. Like I'm gonna eat probably not the right stuff. Okay, when I'm focused, I will eat the right
Listen,
thing.
I'm the same.
Anyway, so my genetics are that naturally as I grow,
Yeah.
I probably will put weight on. So
Yeah.
I understand that I'm always someone that's going to have to train to stay in
Yeah.
shape. So I want to just maintain really.
Yeah.
Purely, I've got 2 kids. I want them to see a happy, healthy person that
Yeah.
can run around and do the most with them.
So can't you incorporate your business into fitness? Because obviously what you do is like sculptures and stuff like that. So say, for example, if an athlete or like a 100-meter sprinter came along and said, can you sculpt me? Is that something that you'd
Yeah,
probably do
so
as
there is
well?
a thing in life casting where people have their bodies done, their torsos and
I
stuff.
bet they do.
I haven't been asked to do none yet, but it's a thing.
Don't lie.
It's a
You
thing.
definitely have.
I
You definitely
haven't.
have.
I haven't. The most I've been asked to cast is a chimpanzee's hand at Dudley Zoo.
Hey?
So yeah,
That's
he was
all
having
right.
his tooth extracted, and they thought whilst it was
Oh,
sedate,
okay.
let's do it. Yeah. Oh, you've thrown me off now, but yeah. So I could do, and like I thought about before, like boxers, maybe
Yeah,
their
yeah,
hands.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? At one point, I was having a conversation with a high-profile boxer. It kind of didn't go anywhere, but I was excited about that one, and I came up with the idea that they would get to keep one, but then maybe I could raffle it off. I'm big
Yeah,
on
yeah,
charity
yeah.
work and stuff. And then
£250, I'll do it.
no one wants your hand, Dean.
No one wants your hand.
All right, Mo.
So yeah, or even
Oh,
just
my
like,
hand's
or
best.
even just, so I don't just work with people that have passed away. I work with like new mums and I do their babies, and I know a lot of them on my Instagram kind of look up to me fitness wise.
Yeah.
So it would be nice just to try and, I don't know, get a mums group together or something like that.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that'd be a good idea. I think a lot of athletes, like say for example, like boxers and stuff like that, they'd probably want to get like what's it called? The cast with like their hand.
Yeah, yeah.
Obviously, like that's
Yeah,
like their,
1
their
million
hand and,
%.
like, their assets, if you know what I mean. So I think it's something that you could branch into, and I think you'll probably do well as well. You know,
Yeah.
like I
But
think.
then I might get a footballer that wants his foot done,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I don't
of
do
course.
feet.
Or
I
But
don't
for the
do
money,
feet.
you're doing feet.
or you can get like a 4-star or something.
We had this conversation.
Left that
this
conversation at the door.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Have you ever been asked?
No, I haven't.
Not at all. Nothing at all.
I haven't. I've had conversations.
believe this,
I
Mo?
have had
I don't know, you know.
conversations with my friends that are in relationships, but I'm like, the thing is, that then means I have to take them old, and I'm
Yeah,
just
no.
like, that I can tell you how to do
I feel
it.
like after this podcast, you're going to have loads of
Oh, yeah,
inquiries
you
on
want-
your phone.
No one
Yeah,
message me.
me
No one
ringing.
message me 'cause I don't do.
You're gonna
I don't.
your box
I'm
is
gonna
gonna be
stick with my
closed, you know, like, can you mold this for me?
Oh my God, I'm the most awkward person ever in those situations. I wouldn't even reply. I don't think so. Don't bother, guys.
don't
Don't
reply,
do
man.
it.
changing the subject slightly, can we talk about the new gym wear at Foundry?
Charlotte was looking fire in the fit. Well, me and you,
I'm not
Paddy,
even going to start. It's like that. Can we get a picture when you're coming down? Just in that one stance.
No.
Tense it up.
No, you were looking fire. I can't wait for the pictures to come out.
You're a nightmare.
Stop winding them up
So
then.
basically, Foundry are releasing their own gym clothing brand, kind of. And yeah, a couple of us in the gym modelled the female clothing. Dean made me feel like a right twat whilst I was doing
But the range is good. Like
I think
you made
the
it
quality
look
of
good,
the
but the quality,
clothing's good.
yeah, the quality
Even
is
the
really.
t-shirts.
And I think it's
Yeah.
hard to try and get good gym wear like it is.
As females now, I feel like gym wear is all about enhancing what you've got and feeling good in what you're wearing. And I think they've definitely sort of managed to get that in the clothes.
And it's affordable too, because Bowen Tea and Gymshark, like, I think I got a Bowen Tea top on.
Yeah.
But you're not catching me in that, like, every day because it's expensive and it needs
is
to
really
last. To have
expensive.
something affordable.
Not only that, you're promoting where you train as well. I think that's good,
Yeah.
especially if you're from around this area. And there's people that probably walk past and don't even realise the gym's here.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you're not
yeah.
going to Asda every day, they only see a few little things.
Yeah.
And I think as you're promoting your gym, the clothing label's a must. 100%, it's a must.
Yeah, definitely.
And I know they've already got the men's bits, haven't they? But I think they're
they're
refreshing and launching
adding
some
more to
extra
the men's bit. So there's like shorts.
Okay, you didn't want all the men's stuff.
Yeah.
You got more chance of you doing
Do you
it.
want to walk on the Stairmaster?
I'm signing you up. Signed up now after that.
But no, I think the gym clothes, I think that's dropping soon, and I think that's going to do really well.
Yeah. I'm looking, and I feel like
definitely.
it's come at the right time as well.
Ready for
Yeah.
summer. There's
Yeah.
some good summer colours as well.
Yeah,
some
it
bright
has.
pinks and stuff. So
I'm training for next summer, man. Summer's
What are you
over.
training for?
Boy, I don't even
What's
know
next for
yet.
you?
Are you
Come
going
on.
for number 3?
What?
I'm going for number 3. And then after that, I'm just gonna do a bit of bodybuilding.
When's
just
number 3 this year or next year?
next year? Well, I got the
Okay.
European Championships in 5 weeks.
Okay.
You get me? So, yeah.
And what's it like, obviously, Mo, because you're always doing weights, does it put a lot of strain on yourself, especially like with your work life as well?
So, for me, I've got like a good balance, if you know what I mean. So my balance is pretty all right. So I kind of like train 4 times a week, because my training is regimented to the point where I come in and know what I'm doing. There's no freestyling or nothing. I know my sessions will last a minimum of like an hour to 2 hours long, and obviously with work, my work accommodate my training to some degree, if that makes sense. And then obviously like with family life and all that stuff, I feel like I've got a good balance, if that makes sense. But obviously I'd like to not work and just do the gym thing properly, but there's not enough money in the gym thing right now. But we'll see in the future.
Number 3 pending.
Number 3. If it doesn't happen, then
It's happening.
right.
It's happening. Talk it. Manifestation.
If it doesn't
talk
happen, then
it.
no, it will happen. You get me? I want it 3 in a row, but obviously if it happens next year, and if it doesn't happen next year, then it's gonna happen. It's inevitable. You get me? Like when it comes
Nah,
to
I like the motivation for it. Like whether you don't win it next year, you are going to win it.
It's gonna happen. I've done it twice already, so the third time will happen, and then we'll branch off into the full power stuff, and then go from there. You never know.
I feel like you're so humble with it because if I'm winning that, like I'm having it imprinted
Nah,
on my
I mean,
top.
with the sports day race.
Nah,
Mate,
some-
I was award nominated last year, and I'm still talking about it now.
Nah, sometimes I'm humble. Like people can ask me like, "Oh, what do you bench?" And then I can be like, "Oh, you know, I feel a cocky one in there." Like I won't even give a number. I just be like, "Oh, I'm 2-time British champion." Like, I don't have to give a number, but like you know what it is. Like I just give thanks. You get me? Like gratitude is everything. Like I feel like if you don't give thanks and you walk around as if you own everything or whatnot, it's not
About
a
like the
good way, man.
appreciation as well, innit? Like you gotta appreciate everything
You gotta
around
appreciate because as people might think, oh yeah, you're on a platform. Yeah, you're on a platform and you own, but there's people that help you get there, like family, people in the gym, like friends and stuff like that. They might contribute just a little bit, but that little bit is make or break, if you know what I mean. So I think Charlotte's got a question about where would you see yourself in 5 years? And
Yeah, what are our 5-year goals? Where we're going to be in 5
I
years?
think you should start, Charlotte.
Well, like I said, head coach at Champs Camp.
She's not letting it get.
That's
They get
not
through
letting it
Nick.
go.
That's going to be in about 5 months.
Wow.
No, do you
Cool.
do you know what? 5 years. I always find this question really, really difficult because I'm very much like I don't plan too much in regards to. I kind of just think where I am is where I'm going to be, and what's meant to be will be, and I'm very relaxed in that way. But in 5 years, I think like. I don't know, I'd say, I don't know, I want to be running a girls group, a youth group basically, boxing based. But for me, mental health is the most important thing in what I do. And obviously it's all based around boxing. So hopefully me and Dean can actually work together in the future.
And don't kill each other.
If we don't kill each other.
You're doing one of your casts.
Definitely Dean's because
Won't be our hand.
I mean, I'm not going to lie, I have popped Dean's nose before and it
Oh,
did bleed in sparring, so
Oh,
I'm just saying.
the cheese
We're not even going to go there.
Even with his
Stop
silly
hitting
head
me
guard.
hard. Stop hitting me.
Even with his silly head
Making me look
guard.
rubbish.
He's got this head guard that's like a Teletubby head guard and it like full on covers his nose and I still
Listen,
managed to pop
Leo.
his nose.
Go to the car and get my stuff.
But no, 5 years. I think 5 years is a long time. But for me, like I'm really big on happiness and peace. In 5 years' time, I just want to be happy. My kids happy, work life happy. I don't have like specific goals. It's just been in a good place, and that's it.
What about you, Monique? I think you've kind of answered that.
Yeah, I think I have, but I'm with Charlotte. Like, life is so short. I don't mean to be morbid, but it's just the way that I am with what I do. But life is so short, and I think it's just appreciating the now. And I don't feel like we do it enough. And sometimes you can think, oh, I'm having a really hard time. And the reality is there's people having such a worse time than you are. So I just want to be happy. I want my kids to be healthy. I want to be healthy. I want to make memories whilst I can. So yeah, I can't think about the 5 years for now. No.
I was going to pass it on to
I
Dean.
think for me, I'm humble, so whatever comes.
Yeah.
And I'll work through whatever happens. But the route that I want to go down gym-wise is I want my gym to be absolutely massive. I want to go down that process of turning as a professional coach and getting some professional fighters. The coach is in my gym as well. Obviously, I've got one of them, for now. I want them to go amateur. I want to bring the kids to
I was
have something
just
to look
about to
forward
say
to.
that the
We
whole
speak
amateur
about it all the
side,
time.
yeah.
But it's just a process that you have to keep going down, and it's very hard. Like, I run a gym solely by myself. I don't get no help. I don't get no funding. I've just took sponsors on board. I won't shout them out yet, but we will do. And it's like I'm trying to get my outside built for the summer, and just go from there. I think for me, just getting more kids in the gym, showing them what they can achieve if they put the work in. I've got loads of professional friends, and I see how they are and how hard they train. Yeah. And just to get 2% out of a kid each session, more and more and more, I know that's the future for them. Yeah. So hopefully I'll have coaches running it for me, take a little step back, and just watch it expand.
I think that's the thing as well with like the gym is the fact that there's no profit made in the gym.
Oh no, there isn't. If it isn't
no
for my
profit.
members, like don't get me wrong, when I first opened, there's been months where I've had to put my own money in. But
well, the members don't pay for the waters.
yeah, I'm still waiting for them to pay.
Just saying.
One of them, you think it's free, it's not. But now I feel like for my members are what it's all about as well. Like they pay that gym. As long as that gym runs itself, I'm happy. There's been times, like I said, where I've had to put money out my own pocket. There's been times where I've earned more money, but I put that back in the gym. Like Charlotte will see, and you ever come down, you'll see from what I started with. I've got videos from what the room looked like to how it looks now, and the future's just going to get better and better.
To hear that. No.
Oh, man, this is when I'm not going to be humble.
Mo's going to have like set goals. Like, we're all just like, we want to
You
be
won.
happy.
You too.
No, mine's so simple. So, obviously, like, I'm one of the strongest on bench in the whole country. So,
I just love that.
I'm
just like, I am one of the strongest guys.
I don't know. Elon Musk is trying to go onto Mars. So my next goal is to like see if there's any aliens on Mars, and then outbench them.
Zombies.
I reckon he can do it.
Zombies
I
as
reckon he can do this.
I do.
No, but seriously, my goal is to try and take my training a bit more serious. Like, it might seem like I do take it serious, but there's like a lot of elements that I kind of slack a little bit, and my coach is like highlighting it the other day. Is like, I don't get enough sleep, I don't eat properly for like a powerlifter, and I think because I'm blessed with decent genetics, I think I kind of let that like push me through. So I think if I took it a little bit more serious in that department, I think that's my goal for the next 5 years is a long time, like you said, man. I think the next 18 months, I think we'll go from there. And then obviously if Elon Musk is going to Mars, I'll be going. But I
Jumping on board.
don't want to do a thing like that.
The Titanic
the
thing.
submarine.
Your competition might be sending you up there.
I'll have to read the small print on that. But yeah, I think it's too soon for that. But yeah.
Can we do the X?
Huh?
Can we do the X?
Oh,
The
listen.
Oh.
Let's,
Let's do
God.
the
Ah.
X. Let's do the X.
So who's the X? We'll start with
you go
Monique.
first, Mo. What's your ick?
I'm not starting.
Hang on, we've got to say the icks of the actual gym.
Yeah, so
This
these are
is-
gym X guys. We've all got them. Who's going first, Mo? What's
You know,
your-
what, I'm just going to put it out there. Body odor. That's my biggest ick. There's all training, and then there's starting to stink a little when you're training, which I get that. There's all that. You've been to work all day. You come to the gym. You may be a little bit frosty. I get that. But there's
Why are you looking at
come
Mo when
into
you're
the
saying
gym.
this?
I was quite fresh, actually. I smelled him outside. But there's like, come into the gym stinking.
I think people
hate it.
think they can
Hate
cover
it.
it up because the gym's going to smell.
No,
No, you
can't do
stink.
that.
Nah, it's. I just think it's horrible.
Yeah.
I do. I can't lie about it. If I go to the gym and I was stinking, I would want someone to say to me, look, mate, you're starting to hum a little. And I think, yeah, there's some people that need to
I don't
just
know how people
clean
don't know.
themselves.
It's like I spray perfume like all the time. Like I always wear perfume. Like that's one of like the things is like you have to smell nice. So
Yeah.
even if I'm going to the gym, I'll still spray like shitloads of perfume everywhere, and I'm literally like everywhere. 'cause
What
it's
do you do?
just-
Do it again. Do that again.
No, but you have to because there's nothing worse than. For me, like the whole thing is like you see someone and you smell someone. It's like your immediate senses, isn't it? So for me, you can't be going in the gym smelling before you've
Yeah.
even got there. But yeah.
What about yours?
My ick, boy.
I feel like Mo's got a few.
I've
Because
got
you
a few.
train in a few gyms as well, don't you?
Yeah,
So
I've got a few, man. Like, I think. I've got loads, man. I don't want to say one because one of them.
Just
is-
drop
no,
it,
you're
man.
not
Just
gonna,
drop
don't
it.
say mine.
Just drop it, Mo.
I feel he's firing shots at himself. They say my one.
So, no, the whole shadow boxing thing, man.
Oh, that was my one.
Damn
sorry,
it.
that was yours.
Damn it.
But it is, that's true.
That's an ick. But I think I think my main one is like when people come in and like literally like they ask you how many sets you got left. Don't get me wrong, I do that. Like I met Paul, which isn't like that, but there's a way where you do it and then you go into the machine and you just do one set. Like what was the point?
Yeah.
Like you're doing one set and then you bounce and you go into another machine. Like what is the point? Like, and that frustrates me a little bit. Like, because it's like, what's the point? And then you do one set and then you see them people and they do one set and then bang, they're on the treadmill. And like, whoa.
Yeah.
To me, that's for, it might not be frustrating to like others, but for me, that's like frustrating. But I have a few others, but I just can't mention them. It's got
Come
to
on,
be-
His name's me.
Yeah, go on, yeah.
I'm not firing shots right now.
Firing
because,
shots
no,
at your
I'm
Mo.
not, because
Mo.
let's be honest.
I
none-
seen your
we-
last
we
post,
knew-
Mo.
No. Did I? I'm going to go on and check. None of us were training tonight, so I'll let you both off. But it's got to be jeans in the gym. But then Mo admitted that he trains in jeans, and that's a big
Yeah,
if, Mo. You can't train in
I
jeans.
squatted 45 kg jeans.
What brand were they?
I don't even know, but all I know is
I heard you were just trialing for the jeans. That's what it was.
I
they
just,
didn't rip though.
one, it's comfort, and two, I just think you just don't do it. It's just not a given that you do. Was it a one-off?
Nah,
You
don't
do it
think it's a
regularly.
regular.
Oh, stop being icky. You give
Mo
me the
just finished
ick now.
training.
but like-
I'm not following him.
obviously I come into the gym. If I'm gonna squat, if I'm gonna bench more than everyone in the gym, you get me?
I think that's the thing.
You don't give a shit
Mo
what
can
you
wear
wear.
what he wants, and not one person
And
saying
someone's telling
anything to him.
something.
Like,
This man's prepared to fight zombies.
Like I can come in the gym and bench 220 in G's. Like, it's like
It is what it is.
Okay.
Your favorite influencer, you doing that.
Okay. So,
I don't think I've got an ick now, because I would have said my ick is like guys shadowboxing in between, like they've just done a
Sets.
shoulder press and suddenly they're shadowboxing in the mirror,
What
or
about the
like.
posing though in the mirror? Like
Do you know what? Like the posing is like, I don't know, like that doesn't give me too much of an ick.
the cringy posing?
It depends what what they're posing with.
Like the posing, the biceps, but there's no biceps.
Whoa, okay.
see, I'll sympathise. That don't ick me. It don't. I'm like, oh.
I'm trying
That's
to
a
think what
wish.
other ick.
Yeah, oh.
I don't think I have.
What about guys trying to hit on you in the gym?
It doesn't really happen.
I was just going to say, do you know what? I feel like maybe
genuinely
we're
doesn't
just
happen.
unapproachable. And I think it's a
Yeah.
thing, like, Sean would probably say to me, like, oh, I'm training in a gym, like, no one talks to me. I don't know if I'm
Yeah.
unapproachable or I don't know what it is, but then I think that comes back to, remember earlier when we were talking
how you
about
carry
the
yourself,
way
like,
that you carry yourself.
If you carry yourself in a way where, like, obviously you've got a partner, and then you carry yourself in that way where, like you're not looking for that attention, you're not gonna get it. But if you
Yeah.
carry yourself in a way where, okay, like you're wearing what? You can wear whatever, but
I was
it's
just going to
it's
say, I'm doing up
no,
shorts
but
at the
it's just
minute.
what- it's
Past
just-
few
it's
days.
just your aura, your
Yeah,
energy
yeah,
that
yeah.
you
Yeah.
give out. Like some people give out the wrong. They might not even know it, but it's just them as a person.
Mm.
But then that's their intention, and obviously they might not say it, but you can tell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then they get that attention and they love it. You get me? But
Yeah.
it's not wrong. It's not a bad
But
thing.
equally,
it is
it's
what it
like
is.
I will watch. Like I'm not gonna lie, if I'm training on myself, I'm a people watcher, so I'll watch. And there's men in the gym that really do move around women. You see them bounce from one woman, they'll do up a few exercises with that woman. She'll go, and then 10 minutes later, they're on the next piece of
Yeah.
equipment with
Very observant.
I'm such an observant person, such an observant person. But yeah, like,
Yeah, that's true. I think that's a bit creepy, to be fair.
would you ever move to someone in the gym?
Nah, never.
Why not?
Never.
I just think you've got to be professional.
Yeah.
I
If
think
you-
if you're coming into places like these, you've got to be professional.
If
Yeah.
if the gym's where you are making your income, then
Exactly.
you don't want to shit on your doorstep. Like,
Exactly.
if you shit on your doorstep, then if you're known for that person, be like, oh, yo, like a new girl comes into the gym, like you're that guy that's gonna be like, hi, I'm such and such, and then you do that with everyone. If you
Let
know
me
what
show
I
you how
mean.
you do legs.
Yeah, and then you just spotting them like real. Nah,
Yeah.
it's just.
But there
it's-
is that misunderstanding of male
Yeah.
PT.
It's
isn't
the
there?
cringiness of it, isn't it?
Yeah, like, oh, you're training with a male PT and I bet you're squatting and stuff. There is that
But then
misconception.
I also get that with the pads. I get it like people can't seem to get the head round the fact that a guy will want to do pads with a female.
Yeah.
And it's
I train with you.
Yeah, you train with me, but so many people will say like, oh, there has to be an agenda. They're just trying to get to know her and all of that. Maybe it's just because I'm good at what I do.
Yeah,
I hold
yeah.
pads just as well as every other man that holds pads.
I think it's
sometimes
just,
better.
I think it's just an immature mindset. Like, I think like a lot of men have that immature mindset. It's not. I think it's a thing where like it's intimidation a little bit, if you know what
Yeah.
I mean. Like it's one of those things where like a lot of men don't grow out of it, if you know what I mean. So it's
Yeah.
just that maturity in a sense, but that doesn't stem from thin air. Like there are girls that
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
do that. Like they go to the
But that's what gives other people bad names, isn't it?
yeah,
like-
yeah.
I'll train with Charlotte, and I don't care.
Yeah.
People can say to me, why you train with a female for?
Yeah.
I genuinely break down.
Yeah, like
Like-
she's good at what she does. I will
Yeah.
give her that. Like I've trained with so many different coaches, and I feel like because I'm a coach, a lot of coaches will lay off me.
Yeah.
So if they see me that like I'm tired, they'll lay off me. And I've said that to you plenty of times. Like, and I get to have my breather. I don't want that.
Yeah.
I want to be pushed to like I physically feel like I want to be still.
Yeah.
And I'll give it to you. You will. You will.
Yeah.
And even if I start slacking, you'll see it in here or you'll see it in my gym. They're screaming. She's screaming at me.
Yeah.
But that's what you need, yeah.
Yeah.
Do it. And I'm like,
even on the like flip
gets me
side of
aggy.
that, I train better with men, 1,000,000%.
That's what I mean when
Like
I say
I'll
women
train.
with
I got friends that are fitness people. Will, don't get me wrong, Charlotte. I'll smash a session with you.
Yeah.
But chances are, if I'm training with some of my other best friends, I'm not pushing myself, and I feel like to grow, you've got to get uncomfortable. Today, I did legs for the first time in months.
Yeah.
I know tomorrow I'm not going to be able to walk. I hit a personal record. I got 170 leg press, and I did my
Well done.
thank you. And I did my 100 kg for 10 reps. I wouldn't have done that if I wasn't pushed. Like
Yeah.
from G&A days, I had my dad screaming, "Get your fucking ass on the floor." That's what
Yeah,
I need.
yeah.
I don't need someone, sat next to me on their Instagram or I need screaming.
Well
at.
done. Even though you've done like half a job.
Yeah, like nah.
Like, go girl.
Yeah, like I need you to tell me like you're not failing, or I want to fail. And if I'm training on my own, then chances are I'm not going to push myself to
Yeah.
that. Whereas a man, they don't take no shit. Not my
Yeah,
brother
I
is
don't
the
let
best for
anybody
it.
off it. Like with
Yeah.
it.
So that's
You've-
why I train with men.
You see it as well. Like you'll say to me, Dean, I'm fucked.
Hate him.
I need give me,
Hate
and I'm
him
like,
when I
no,
train
you
with
ain't
him.
getting a break. Like you want a break, go with somebody else. I'm not here to give people breaks. I'm here to make you push yourself and get the best
If I
out
know
of
too much,
yourself.
I have to do burpees. Like-
Burpees are the one.
Well, he says in the gym, because I take too long putting my gloves on, he makes everyone do burpees and says, "Everyone thank Charlotte." So everyone's looking at
shit.
me,
You remind me of my
giving me
dad
the
then.
daggers.
You
I'm like,
do.
oh, fucking hell.
You
But
do.
I also think it's a mentality thing. So, like for me, because I train with guys, I don't want to be classed as the girl that's giving up all the time. I want to be like classed as the girl that's like, yeah, she trains
Yeah,
like
yeah.
how the guys train. But I also think it's the same with guys when they do pads with me.
Mm-hmm.
It's like guys almost think, well, I can't give up because she's a girl and she'll think that,
Yeah, yeah.
she'll think bad. So I think sometimes guys will come to a female because it actually, like Dean says, it pushes them more. Like Dean does not get a rest at all. And when I do classes down at the gym, they're all like, fucking hell, where did you find her? She's like Trojan.
Yeah.
Like she literally does not give us a second.
What you say, mate? You're going to get to one of their classes?
Yo. Alright, let me get this competition out of the way. Like,
Like next year.
like the competition's in 5 weeks. After the competition, then I'm floating around just doing things that I haven't done before. So to be fair, I used to do kickboxing, and I did like do it properly as well. I had like 5 fights. This is when I was younger, and I won 4 of them, and I drawed 1. I was undefeated.
That's good, that is.
in kickboxing. So
More than Dean.
More than me.
Dean has a habit of losing.
Right.
I'd come down still. I'll come down. Like, he sounds like
Come
you've
down.
got a good thing going
I
on.
think
you
it'll be
get me?
good for you as well to
yeah.
get, if you like, not doing weights, something different for the day.
I can-
Maybe the week.
I
If
can
he ever
box,
gets
man.
out of Gymshark.
I'm
Trying to get him to get me in Gymshark. Trying.
I've never lost a fight. I've never lost a fight on the street, in the ring. I've never lost a fight. So I think I'll be good at stuff like that anyway. Not bragging. It's just that I'm a tough guy.
I feel like you scare
Super
them.
confident.
Like, imagine Mo
Super
imagine
confident.
Mo, like, as a man coming for you.
Nah, I'm a softie, man. It's just
No, I know.
if obviously you just don't want to be on the wrong side. But I'm always smiley and that, like, so it's just one of those ones. But it's a rarity. I'm pissed off.
So do you coach, Mo, yourself?
I do a bit of coaching, but it's exclusive because how can I say this without being
He's 2 times champion. It's exclusive.
You got to be in it
I
to win it.
I like people, but I don't like people at the same time.
Very antisocial.
So it's one of
Same
those,
one.
like, because I deal with people so much at work, I don't want to really be dealing with, it sounds so bad, I don't really want to be dealing with them outside of work so much. So I do coaching, but it's exclusive. Like, I'm coaching, like, 6, 7 people at the moment. So obviously I am going to open up to more people after this competition, but it's not something that I'd want to broadcast, which I will though. Everyone keeps telling me to do it, so I will do it, but limited people, limited. You get me? I have to see potential in you for me to like fully take you on and stuff like that, because
No, that's
I
good.
don't really want to waste my time because I'm kind of busy, like life, you get me? So yeah.
I think we've got a special guest in the background. I think maybe the owner of Foundry, Chelmsleywood, could possibly come up
Come on,
and
come on,
say
come on.
hello and introduce himself.
I
seeing
know,
as he's not
Shane.
made
Come
an
and
appearance
introduce
here.
yourself.
Shane, where was
He's
the
in the
alcohol?
back pulling faces.
Where was
trying
the
to get us
alcohol?
to,
Mo wanted alcohol.
Mo was one in
come on,
talk to us
Shane, come
at
and
10
say
o'clock.
hello.
I man.
But no,
man
it's been
got put on the
good. I've
spotlight.
enjoyed
He's a letdown
talking,
over there.
I feel like when we're
Something
in the
different.
gym, the music's on. We'll have a bit of chit chat, but it's nice to actually sit and talk. So episode 2 smashed it.
Yeah, man.
Episode 3, if you want to be on it, just
I think
message
episode
the
2 is going to be the
management.
best episode out of
Yes.
all of them,
Yeah,
regardless of who comes on there.
it is. Oh, guys, it's been a pleasure.
It has. Thanks.
Bye,
everyone.
guys.
Hasta
See
la
ya.
vista.
Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. If you would like to be a part of the Foundry Gym podcast experience, drop a message to @Foundry Gym Chelmsleywood.